Broadcasting from the southernmost headquarters of the Exceptional Conservative Network, it's the Willie Lawson Show. It's the hippest urban conservative trip in America. And now, your host, Willie Lawson. All right, people all over the world, listen up. Hey, for the next hour, you're going to be on the hippest conservative trip in America here on the Willie Lawson Show, a product of the Exceptional Conservative Network, powered by SHR Media, and syndicated by our friends at High Plains Talk Radio. So I am excited to be here today. I think we've got a topic that is going to really invoke some thought, because that's the part that's missing. I am truly convinced that the part of what's missing today right now is thought. I think that we are so emotionally driven and so emotionally and visually led that we can't think our way out of a wet paper bag. Now, I'm talking about our society and our culture in general, but I'm talking about black people in particular. I'm talking about black folks in particular. And I do feel that, or I do think that I am in a position to say what I'm going to say today, and maybe my white counterpart is not. However, it wouldn't make it any less, the things I'm going to say today, any less true. Wouldn't make anything I say today one iota less true. Would make anything would make it one iota false. But I want to make sure that we get this perspective out there on the Exceptional Conservative Network, because I am sure that this is the perspective of all the hosts here on the Exceptional Conservative Show Network, on the Exceptional Conservative Network. So I want to make sure that we understand this, that here is what's going on, black people. We talk about who we can trust. I did a show entitled that black people can no longer trust the left. But we really haven't been able to trust them for years. Well, basically because they're involved, the left is involved, and promoting black genocide. And I know that sounds like a hyperbolic term, but you have to understand. We have to, in order to come up with that, we've got to look at the numbers. We have got to look at the numbers to see if there's actually genocide going on. In 2014, a total of 303,844 blacks died in the United States. That same year, an estimated 954,000 abortions took place in the United States. If 36% were performed on black women, that means that 343,440 black babies were aborted. In other words, more black babies are killed by abortion each year in the United States than all the other causes combined. Because we're receiving 36% of abortions. 36% of abortions are black. So think about this. Again, 303,844 black people died in 2014. Almost got me in that number. I slipped out. Praise the Lord. I slipped out so I could bring you this information this morning. That same year, an estimated 954,000 abortions took place. Almost 1 million abortions took place in America. Now, if 36% were performed on black women, that means about 343,440 black babies were aborted. That's more. I'm going to say this again. That's more than all the other deaths of black people who died from cancer, from heart disease, from being shot by the police, diabetes, accidents, falling into a wood chipper. Can we imagine? Tell me what that is. Tell me what that is. Tell me that's not genocide. In 2010, the black population in the United States stood just shy of 39 million. The CDC reported during the 70s, roughly 24% of all of U.S. abortions were performed on black women. That percentage rose to 30% in the 80s, 34% in the 90s, and 36% in the 2000s. That means about 31% of all U.S. abortions since 1973 have been performed on African American women. Based on the January 2013 estimate, there have been 55.7 million abortions in the United States since 1973. We can deduce that approximately 17 million of the aborted babies were black. Tell me that 17 million people out of the population, 17 million, think about this. Think about the gravity of that number, 17 million. Can you get a grip on 17 million? That's more than the people in the state of Florida. Are you kidding me? Can you get a grip on 17 million people? What could have been accomplished since 1973 had we not allowed them to murder 17 million of our children? Now, we're going to play some clips today from some sources, and I think these clips don't get played on mainstream media. They don't get played in the black media, that's for sure. They don't get played on BET or TV One. They don't get played on the hip-hop stations around America. Steve Harvey ain't talking about it. That other guy who has the big morning show, they're not talking about it. But we're talking about it here because it's murder. Now, I understand that people get upset and are upset about Freddie Gray and Trayvon Martin, you know, and some other black people that have been killed at the hands of either police or overly zealous crime watch people like Zimmerman, who's a nutcase. But in any case, you know, I understand the upset there, but I understand that that's also an opportunity for ne'er-do-wells, people who want to benefit financially and politically on that emotion, to sort of slip in there and do that while ignoring all along the amount of black death that continues to happen at the hands of the left. By just ignoring the amount of black death, the genocide that continues to go on our community, that's supported by the left. And we'll talk about the people who, the major progenitor of this when we get back. We'll talk about Planned Parenthood, and we'll do some we'll show some investigations on Planned Parenthood, and some of this stuff you've probably not heard before, but it's been out there for a long time. So you know what? Last night I said, "What the heck? Let's go ahead and expose some of this stuff for people who are listening." Now, I know that there are people who are listening up and down our line, SHR and High Plains Talk Radio, that are looking now in this time of opportunity, and we have an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of people. You know, frankly, I think that life is the greatest civil right. We'll be back right after these messages. Innovation inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. The location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. There's no reason to wait for a special occasion to send flowers. No reason to wait until you miss a birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's Day to send flowers. All you have to do is get a hold of my friend Christine at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. That's www.bloomingdays.com. And tell her that you want to send the very best, that you care enough to send the very best. One of FTD's top florists in all of the United States, always in the top 100 of flower shops in the United States. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. Forget calling 1-800-something, www.bloomingdays.com. It's great to have partners, but it's even better when one of your partners is one of the finest urban conservatives in America. That's my friend Kevin Batts. Kevin Batts of Red River Chronicle TV. Red River Chronicle TV is taking the internet by storm. With fabulous production, amazing commentary, and incredible insight, Red River TV is the thing that we'll all be watching in 2017. They are the people, Kevin and his wife Janelle, are the voices that are going to make the difference in urban America in 2017. So get in on the ground floor. Go to www.redriverchronicle.com and subscribe to Red River TV today. Mainstream media is dead. Okay, we're back with more of the Will and Austin Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network, powered by SHR Media and syndicated by our friends at High Plains Talk Radio. We appreciate everybody down the line this morning, and it seemed like we got a good start this morning. I apologize for yesterday. We got a really rocky technical start, but we were on it and got it done because that's how we roll. You know, like they tell you, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Speaking of finish, on tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. On this show, my friend Foster Wirtz, Foster Blog, is going to be my guest. She's an expert on what's going on in South and Central America, and how their politics affect ours and how ours affect theirs. We're going to talk about the wall. We're going to talk about the Mexican president. We're going to talk about the connection from Central America and South America and what's going on in the Middle East and how all these things fit together, because they all fit together in a way that mainstream media, of course, is not telling you. And the reason they're not telling you is mainstream media is dead. And that's why they're not telling you, because mainstream media is indeed dead. But today we're going to talk about something a little closer to home. We're going to talk about black genocide. And until we can start naming stuff, there was a big hoo-ha-ha about, or to a brouhaha, hoo-ha-ha, whatever, about what the president was wouldn't say. He wouldn't say radical Islamic terrorism. He just wouldn't say it. But we can't address something unless we say it. We couldn't address my condition 3 years ago unless we said congenital heart failure. Scary term. Anytime you have the words heart and failure, congestive heart failure is what it is. Congestive heart failure. When you say heart and failure in the same phrase, that's a scary term, but you can't deal with it. You can't do anything about it until you name it. You can't, if you're drunk, you can't get fixed unless you're willing to admit that you're drunk. I'm sorry, an alcoholic drunk. There's nothing can be done until you're willing to say what it is. And we can't do anything about what's happening in America. In America, this is happening unless we call it what it is. It's black genocide. 17 million black children murdered in utero. Murdered inside their mothers. Since 1973. Can you imagine if 17 million people had been murdered by the police in America? Imagine if there were 500 people killed, 500 black people killed by cops every year. Black people killed by cops every year. And the number isn't anywhere near that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? But all our so-called black leaders sit quietly with their hands folded while this carnage is going on. And if they're sitting there with their hands folded, what you can see in their hands is a check from these leftist, murderous organizations. That their entire purpose for being was to exterminate what they considered the inferior. You've probably heard the name Margaret Sanger, and the name Margaret Sanger is an important name because Hillary Clinton won the Margaret Sanger Award, and had said that Margaret Sanger was a very important person in the American landscape. And that's true to agree. She was important. She was important to the American landscape the way that Hitler was important to the German landscape. So let's hear a little bit about this Sanger chick. Well, it seems like I don't have any audio on my clip, so I got that, and I ain't sure why because it's a very good clip. It basically talks about this. I'll just tell you. How about that? How about if I just tell you? Will you be happy if I just tell you? It's this chick Margaret Sanger who basically was involved in the American eugenics movement And the American, and I've got probably got a whole bunch of, there you go, well, in that. The American eugenics movement is simply ready to get rid of anybody who they deemed was inferior. This is part of what the Nazi plan was. This was part of Hitler's final solution. Hitler didn't want to get rid of the Jews just because he didn't like them. It wasn't a popularity contest. It wasn't simple racism as the Captain Cupcakes and the Snowflake Warriors of today view racism. It was they thought that they were actually genetically inferior. They thought that black people were genetically inferior. And the only way to save the human race was to exterminate the most inferior. Does that sound like somebody else? Does that sound like the origin of species? The evolution model? Only the strong survive? Well, they thought that was their place. The Nazis had turned eugenics into a bad word. So what they had to do was they had to do what the left has always done. What they had to lay low, rebrand, and relaunch. So they were changing their name of the what they call themselves, something like give me a sec. They call themselves the Family Planning League or some crazy thing like that. Birth Control League is what they called themselves, and they changed that into what? Planned Parenthood. Why? Because that's a much happier face, right? Planned Parenthood. Like, actually, you were going to be able to have a family, and you were actually going to be able to be a parent. After Margaret Sanger had spoken at numerous Klan rallies, and I want to stop there for a second. Klan rallies. Now, isn't the left? Think about this. Isn't the left just don't they get apoplectic when anything doesn't go their way? They want to compare anything conservative to being involved with the Ku Klux Klan, especially if you're white. You're a white male. You're a white cisgendered male that wants to, I don't know, be a white cisgendered male in America, that you must be associated with the Ku Klux Klan. Now, the woman, think about the nuttiness here. The woman who ran for president in the Democrat Party won the Margaret Sanger Award, and Margaret Sanger thought of one of her major accomplishments that she spoke to a number of Ku Klux Klan organizations around America when the Klan was big. Not that the Klan is, now that the Klan is infinitesimal and nobody cares, who cares? She spoke to 19 or 20 different Ku Klux Klan organizations in the 20s. And Hillary Clinton gladly and humbly accepted the Margaret Sanger Award and called her a great American. Black people, we are being deceived. We are being deceived by people who keep saying that they're here, that they're on our side, that they're here to help us when they're actually here to kill us. I don't know how else to put this. They're actually here to kill us. To murder us. The first plan was to go to black churches and push birth control. But there was a hitch in that giddy-up. The hitch in that giddy-up was that white women started getting on the birth control bandwagon. They started seeing birth control as a way to improve the quality of their lives, and that's not what they meant at all. That's not what they meant to happen at all. So they had to double down. They had to double down and start pushing for abortions, convincing black pastors, pardon me, black pastors, that this was compassionate. That this was compassionate. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm just thinking, frankly, is because, unfortunately, a lot of those black pastors in some of those churches were insufficiently trained. I'll put it that way. Insufficiently trained that they couldn't see through. They could not see through what was actually going on. Because the idea is to put a smiling face on this, that this is going to lighten the burden of black people in America. When the whole purpose was to wipe out black people in America through birth control and now abortions. And that's been the reality. Pardon me. That has been the reality. And now with Planned Parenthood being the major progenitor of black death in America, there isn't another way to put it. And I know some people are listening going, Willie, you're getting a little hyperbolic. You're going over the top here. There isn't another way to put it. James O'Keefe in Project Veritas, a couple of years ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago, called up Planned Parenthood organizations around the country. This you might have heard about this. And asked if they could donate money specifically aimed at the abortion of black babies. Specifically, black babies. So do you think that the person on the other side of the phone slammed the phone down in horror? Called them racist? Ku Klux Klan members? Knights of the White Camellia? White supremacists? No. They gladly, gleefully took the donations aimed at the death in utero of a black child. Black people we can no longer trust. Actually, we could never trust, but we most certainly can't trust the left. Like my friend Sonny Johnson says, you show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So if these people are your friends, if your local politicians are hooked to the left and hooked to organizations like Planned Parenthood, if you show me your friends, I will show you your future. That's what we're talking about. That's the deal. We are plugging in and sacrificing our own children on the altar, on the leftist altar of political correctness, homosexuality, abortion. We are simply greed, selfishness, consumerism. Because it's always, well, we're doing this because we're going to make your life easier. And you know what? And having one more hungry child on the planet, that's just, you can't do that in good conscience. And so who's being asked to sacrifice their children? Who's being asked to sacrifice their children? Black and brown people are being encouraged to sacrifice our children. Because that's where the most abortions are coming from. They've created narratives about backroom alley abortions and terrible things that happened. But the fact of the matter is that black and brown people in America are being asked to sacrifice our children. You know, we get all this pro-Africa stuff that says, you know what, we're kings, we're descendants of kings and queens. Well, kings and queens kill for their children. They don't kill their children. And we wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, there's genocide going on in America. There's black genocide going on around the planet, but it blows me away that it's going on right here in America. Black genocide happening right here, under our nose, in our communities, every day. Thousands of black children being murdered in utero every day. Every day. You got to kill a bunch of people every day to get to 17 million since 1973. You got to kill a lot of black folks every day. And now the most heinous charges are not only are they killing the children, and this weird sort of Dr. Mengele fashion, now that they're killing the children, they're actually being able to harvest the parts, the organs of these children, and sell them to the highest bidders. Hearts, livers, lungs. Are you kidding me? And we sit idly by, idolizing Barack Obama, who said to Planned Parenthood, "I will always have your back." Are you serious? And what did we do? Because in our blackness, we couldn't help but follow along. Because Barack Obama had been called, he is now our designated leader. He's a leader of black America. Well, the devil is a lie. Not if he's looking for me to sacrifice my children. He said about his own daughter, he wouldn't want them, what was the terminology he used? Cursed with a baby? Cursed with a child? And black people, we sat idly. And black people, your so-called local black leaders sat and smiled. Unless we can get back to the basics. And these are the basics. Black lives matter? Yeah. When? Always. Where? Everywhere. Even in utero? Yes. Even when they inside their mama? Yes. So when do they become children? The very second the sperm meets the egg and makes a baby, which is fairly early in the process. And you do it like that, and that way you don't screw it up. You err on the side of life, always. And until we get back to those principles, we will always struggle in America. As long as we are okay with sacrificing our own children, we will always struggle in America. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Willie Lawson Show on the Exceptional Conservative Network, SHR Media, and High Plains Talk Radio. We'll be back right after these messages.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon and
I
you're
think so.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hi, it's your business diva here, Melanie Collette of Money Talk with Melanie on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m., we talk all things money on a global, domestic, and household scale that affects you and your wallet. You don't want to miss it.
Nothing fits a home perfectly than a brand new grand piano. And if you're looking for a piano for your brand new home, you've got to visit Dave's Piano. And that's davespianoshowroom.com. If you're looking for the perfect thing to set off your new home, a piano is what you're looking for. And my friend Dave has the perfect piano for you. And the best thing about buying a piano from Dave is that he does everything. He delivers, he sets up, he tunes, he takes care of everything. The best part about Dave's Piano, quite frankly, is Dave. So when you buy a piano from Dave's Piano Showroom, you only deal with Dave. You can reach them at www.davespianoshowroom.com. That's davespianoshowroom.com. You're tired of the cold? You're tired of the taxes? It's time to move to Florida. And our friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay is the perfect person to help you. You can just give Gary a call at 813-770-9452, or you can go to the website to look for your brand new home at www.newhomestpa.com. Move to Florida. It's about time. Innovation, inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. The location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. All right. Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to take a little time here. I got to tell you that TECN is blowing up. TECN is absolutely blowing up. It isn't just me. You've listened. I'm good. I'm solid, but you don't understand that the rest of the network is every bit as solid, and if not more solid. And I want to take a little time, a few minutes, to let you know that tomorrow, right after the Willie Lawson show on Money with Melanie, she's going to have Fox contributor Ebony Williams on her program tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be fun and exciting. And you know what? You're just going to get your socks knocked off. And Ebony had already said to Melanie that she doesn't do these kind of things anymore, except she sees value here. So, again, make sure that you tune in tomorrow on Wednesday, February 8th, right after you listen to me. Stay on. Don't log off. Listen to Money with Melanie. And Ebony Williams, Fox Contributor, will be her guest on her show. So you want to make sure that you don't miss that. You want to be sure to make sure that you don't miss that. So there you go. That's what's happening. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, everybody. On Thursday here, I've already I've contacted Mason Weaver, and you've seen some of the videos, some of the Mason Weaver videos, especially during the campaign. Mason has agreed to join me, I believe, on Thursday. Our people are still working with his people to work that out, but I believe that's going to happen on Thursday here on the Willie Lawson Show, and you don't want to fail to miss that. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be such truth coming through your computer, coming through your headphones, that when you listen to this at work, they're going to say, "Why are you crying? Bill, why are you crying?" And you're just going to look at them and say, it's the truth. There's so much truth. Oh, my God. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. There'll be just so much truth. There'll be just such realness. It's going to overwhelm you. That's what we do here on TECN. That's what we do at SHR Media. And you know what? Our friends at High Plains Talk Radio make sure that we get the word out to millions of people a month, because what's missing now is truth. What's missing now is reality. What's missing now is what things really are. That's what's missing. What things really are. And if we don't get to what things really are, then tell me, how can you have hope and change unless you're willing to get to where things really are, whether you're willing to tell the truth? Now, I tell you what, I've spent most of my media career, and I've said this all the time to people, with one foot firmly planted in leftist butt. You know? In leftist butt. I have firmly at one plant in a leftist butt. And I have spent the other half of my time with the other foot firmly planted in fake conservative, unenlightened Republican butt. It's a wonder that I can walk at all, right? If I'm spending half my time kicking one person in the butt and then spending the other half my time kicking the other person in the butt, and I've done both. And I'll tell you what, and I will tell you what, I am ready at a moment's notice if the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, turns and goes another direction than the direction that he promised, I will be the first one to speak up about it. Let there be no doubt now. I ain't no sycophant. I ain't getting no check from DJT. I'm not getting a check because that's how we roll. That's how we do it. I want to let you know something. I want to let you know that you can go and you can see all our shows on TECN if you go to theexceptionalconservativeshow.com. All one word. The Exceptional Conservative Show.com. And under the TECN AM tab are our morning shows, The Right Way, Willie Lawson Show, Money with Melanie. Click on that, and what you'll find is there's a chat room there. What? A chat room there, and where you can participate in conversations with me, with all the hosts, because a lot of the hosts listen to each other's shows, obviously, and all the people who listen to the shows, who are coming from everywhere. They're coming from SHR Media. They're coming from High Place Talk Radio. They're coming from all over the country right there. So you want to go to the Exceptional Conservative Show.com, theexceptionalconservativeshow.com, and click on the TECN AM tab for our morning shows. That's what you want to do. And that pulls you into the game. And once we pull you in, you can't get out. Because once you're one of us, you're one of us for life. There you go. That's what you need to do. And that's how you help. The more people that we have who are listening to our messages, who are participating in these conversations, the more chance that we have to save our nation. And that's what we're here to do. You know, if I just wanted to hear myself talk, I could just go outside, just walk around the streets. And eventually someone will get me a check. Someone will give me a check. You know, someone will get me a check. I'll just walk around going, I'm saying this stuff to myself out loud. Someone will take me into an office, sit me down, have me fill out some paperwork, and then a check will show up in my mailbox every month. I'm not here for that. We are here to save our nation. There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity now to save our nation, and we have to be involved. It's just not the host, because we got great hosts. Shannon and Mike in the morning. We've got Melanie, who is talking about an important feature to this, especially for our community, money. And black people get just crazy when you start talking about money. Why you always talking about money? Everybody always talking about money. They want some money. Well, you know what? If you don't spend it right, if you don't invest it right, you won't have any. More money, more problems. I think more money, more food. What? More money, more house. What? More money, more education. What? More money, more power. More political power. More political clout. So we need to start learning how to spend our money. So listen to Money with Melanie after this show. Go to the Exceptional Conservative Show.com and click the TECN AM tab, and we'll all be there. It'll be a good time. I promise you. You may even see me in the chat room. Won't that be your brush with greatness every day? Yes. Folks, Planned Parenthood. So when you see, this is important, so when you see people in your neighborhood, you see your so-called black leaders, elected and otherwise, because we know in the hood there are leaders who are elected, and there are leaders, quote, end quote, who are not elected, who have influence. Ask them, what do you think about Planned Parenthood? And when they say, well, you know, they provide an important service to our community. They provide health care for our underprivileged and our poor women. Okay. Say, do you know that they don't do mammograms, right? When they keep saying that they do mammograms, they don't do mammograms. And if you don't believe me, you call them today. You go to the, I almost said go to the phone book. That's how old I am. Go to the computer, find the Planned Parenthood clinic in your area, and ask them about mammograms. And then do this for me. Email me at WLSTECN@gmail.com and tell me what you got. Tell me what you got. They don't do mammograms. They don't do pap smears. They do family counseling, directing young women, and especially young black women, to abortions. They're an abortion mill. They're a slaughterhouse, and they build these slaughterhouses in black neighborhoods. You're not going to go to the gated community, and inside a beautiful gated community where white folks are, quite frankly, you're going to find any Planned Parenthood clinics. They're all in the hood. One of them in my neighborhood is right down the street from the high school. Shameful. We'll be back with more of the Will Lawson Show right after these messages. Innovation, inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. The location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. There's no reason to wait for a special occasion to send flowers. No reason to wait until you miss a birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's Day to send flowers. All you have to do is get a hold of my friend Christine at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. That's www.bloomingdays.com. And tell her that you want to send the very best, that you care enough to send the very best. One of FTD's top florists in all of the United States, always in the top 100 of flower shops in the United States. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. Forget calling 1-800-something, www.bloomingdays.com. It's great to have partners, but it's even better when one of your partners is one of the finest urban conservatives in America. That's my friend Kevin Batts. Kevin Batts of Red River Chronicle TV. Red River Chronicle TV is taking the internet by storm with fabulous production, amazing commentary, and incredible insight. Red River TV is the thing that we'll all be watching in 2017. They are the people, Kevin and his wife Janelle, are the voices that are going to make the difference in urban America in 2017. So get in on the ground floor. Go to www.redriverchronicle.com and subscribe to Red River TV today. All right, we're back. We are back. I got to tell you that that tomorrow here on the Will Lawson Show, my friend Foster Wirtz of Foster Blog, you can go to fosterblog.com and see some of her writings on the on Central and South America, and how our politics mesh with their politics and what's actually going on there. More truth. Oh my goodness, more truth. More truth without spin, and what the Mexicans are actually doing. We'll talk about what the Mexicans are actually doing on their southern border that Donald Trump and the right is getting so much crap on about doing on our southern border. That, you know, with all those people who are saying no ban, no wall, ought to be talking to the Mexican president, and how their politics are interfacing with some of the organizations in the Middle East. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces that mainstream media is not telling you, and they're not telling you because mainstream media is dead. That's exactly right. So be sure to tune in to us tomorrow. Start at 9:00, and make sure that you hear Foster Wirtz. In the meantime, before we go, tell everybody that you heard it today. Tell everybody that they need to hear it tomorrow and the next day and forever. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you when we see you.